Well, there's a public hearing held here today in regards to a conditional use for the Whoop Hollar Folk Festival, making it a two-day event. Saturday and the Sunday was set up being allowed on the Friday night. There was a large representation for and opposed in attendance, and there was a lot of presentations that came forward. Ultimately, the decision of the council was to deny the application to make it a two-day event. And based on what was discussed around the table, I think a lot of the concerns was the impact that's having on the immediate neighbours, which these properties butt right up against the festival site, and to a certain extent just that it's possibly outgrown that location, and that there's better locations for it, a festival such as this size and this magnitude. It was not an easy decision for the council. Council recognizes the great work that these organizers of the festival committee has done and accomplished and grown it to what it is today. But I think it was just mentioned that the council wanted to take into consideration the detrimental impacts it is having on the neighbors, safety concerns, etc.
Is at any given time. And that includes, that's just the paid people, and then we have an allowance for about 200 volunteers.
I just want to start by saying I appreciate what you've done and what you've accomplished and where you're going with this. And I also understand that part of it's more than just the music, it's the ambiance, I guess, to a certain extent. But hearing the concerns that have been brought forward and the continued growth of your event, have you considered alternate locations which would allow you to grow it that much more as well? But once again, taking into consideration the concerns that have been brought forward, have you given consideration to a different venue, different location?
I guess you were thinking that Kathy, the attendance, would address that. Can I add a couple of comments?
Just strictly to the question, though. I'm sorry. I have to.
The ambiance is most of it. And the fact that we can have other stages and workshops, it's just like when you buy a house, location, location, location. And that's the same sort of thing with the setting that we've built up over the past 40 years. So we haven't, because we honestly thought we were following everything that was required of us, and that the setting is what makes Whoop and Hollar. It does not work.
This matter? You ready for the question? I'm just taking silence as yes, you are ready for the question. Okay. All those in favor? Opposed? And so therefore, for those reasons, I believe the council has denied this application, and so the festival will remain as a one-day event at that location.
And we're in shock because we feel like we're really being misrepresented as to who we are and what we're about. We're about community, love, peace, healing, and that's even visions of independence are heavily involved with us. And Val was present, and that we have imparted. We're a little festival with a big impact. So what are we going to do? I don't know how to answer it. We do need the two days in order to continue to receive the funding. I guess that'll be the next news piece. And they said that we didn't meet the conditions. We did meet the conditions. There were 4 conditions. I've outlined them to you, and we met them all and exceeded them. So I'm not sure where that's coming from.
And then 4 days before the festival, they released a new artist announcement on their social media pages. They added another musical event to the show and extended the Sunday show by over 2 hours. That was a violation of their conditional use permit, and there should be consequences for not following the rules. The Planning Act states that if any conditions of approval are not complied with, approval can be revoked.
But we did meet the conditions, and that was the whole purpose. If we met the conditions, they don't want us there, and I could see that. I'm saddened by that, because we are talking to them. We are trying to do what they're asking it. We have done what they asked from us, except move. We won't be moving. If we're one day there, we're one day there. We'll figure something out. We're not moving.
And the council meeting provided an excellent opportunity to have a discussion amongst community members, neighbors, council members, our organizers, as Linda was alluding to, we had a large contingent of support. About 21 people showed up to support
Yes.
Whoop Hollar, and
Yes.
there was opposition, but with any healthy discussion, I think opposition is important to help organizations, to help events grow and become a community event that takes into consideration the needs of the community to compromise, to come together. And we were disappointed with council's decision, of course, but more so that there was not an opportunity to speak to the neighbors' concerns, following up on our presentation, and all the points and conditions that we met and addressed and exceeded, and to clarify that some of those points were from other years, and to kind of round out the discussion before making a decision that impacts hundreds of people. Many volunteers, many community sponsors, artists from all over the province that come together every year for the good of the community and local arts and culture.
I'm deeply disappointed in council. They listen to conjecture and vague falsehoods and misrepresentations, whereas Whoop Hollar presented clear, concise details of what was done. The additional act that was added, it wasn't an additional act added. It was an additional act that was playing with the final performer. The final performers have two bands, so they amalgamated them into one, and that was the final show. So it was, the headliner actually was split into two. And we have never gone late. 8 o'clock it shut down. I live in Winnipeg. I was home by 11, and I was on the cleanup crew.
Of this, process, our concerns are ignored. And obviously, even with the process, they're still ignored. And that was, however many years that was, 17 to 2022. So this plan was put in place last year, and the change in parking did help us with the trespassing part of it, but it didn't, that good thing, to me, doesn't mean it's okay to break other rules too. You know what I mean?